Hello friends, we all know that when we purchase something, the seller collects the GST from us and pay it to the government. But there is a concept named as reverse charge mechanism under GST, in which you, the buyer, has to pay the GST to the government directly. Sounds unusual, right? Let's break it down into simple words so you know exactly what RCM is, when it applies and how to handle it. So without any further delay, let's get started. Segment 1, what is RCM? Now first let's understand what is RCM. RCM means reverse charge mechanism under GST, in which the liability to pay the GST shift from supplier to the recipient. That is, the liability to pay the GST shift from seller to the buyer. Now the next question arises, why does reverse charge mechanism exist? The reverse charge mechanism exists because at some point of time government find it difficult to collect tax from the service providers, like in case of unorganized sector or scattered service providers. For example, if you hire a goods transport agency services for freight, you need to pay the GST as a recipient of service under the RCM, and goods transport agency do not need to pay any GST. Because in this case, generally the goods transport agencies are scattered service providers. Segment 2, when is RCM applicable? So RCM is applicable in these three situations. Let's break it down one by one. Number 1, notified goods and services under section 9 subsection 3, in which certain goods like raw cotton, tobacco leaves, silk yarn and metal scrap are included. Certain services are also included, like legal services, sponsorship services, security services, director services, insurance agent, recovery agent, and renting of property by government. These services and these goods attracts reverse charge mechanism under section 9 subsection 3. Number 2, purchase from unregistered suppliers. Section 9 subsection 4 specifies that if a registered business purchase notified goods or services from an unregistered buyer or supplier, these are eligible for reverse charge mechanism. For example, a real estate developer purchases cement from unregistered supplier, he must pay GST under the RCM. Number 3, e-commerce transaction. Section 9 subsection 5 specifies that certain services provided by the e-commerce platform, the e-commerce platform itself pays the GST. For example, if you rent a car through Ola, the e-commerce platform, that is Ola, will pay the GST and not the driver. Segment 3, compliance requirement. There are also few compliance requirements linked with the RCM. Number 1, registration. Any person who is liable to pay GST under RCM must get itself registered under the GST even if his threshold is below the GST turnover limit. Number 2, payment. GST under the RCM must be paid in cash and not adjusted via ITC. Number 3, self-invoicing. If supplier is unregistered, the recipient must issue the self-invoice. And number 4, reporting. The RCM liability must be reported in GSTR 3B. So these are the few compliance requirements which are linked with the RCM and must be followed by the person who is eligible to pay GST under the RCM. Now let's come to the main point, that is input tax credit under the RCM. RCM liability must be paid into the cash first, and then you can claim complete ITC from the same if the goods and services are used for business purposes. You cannot pay the RCM liability via ITC itself. You need to pay it first and then claim it later as ITC. Segment 5, practical tips. Now let's discuss some practical tips which will help you in managing RCM in your business. Number 1, always keep track of notified goods and services relevant to your business. Number 2, if you are eligible to pay GST under RCM, always specify it in your invoice. Number 3, always check vendor registration status. And number 4, always use a good compliance software to reconcile your GSTR to be monthly and to track your RCM entries, as it flags discrepancies and organizing reports, saving time and reducing the errors. Practically, it is mandatory to mention in your invoice that the GST is paid under the RCM. But when you prepare your invoice on day-to-day basis, you may forget to mention the same, attracting the non-compliance under the GST. That's where the work of a good compliance software starts. In the software I use, this process is pretty straightforward. Basically, you just need to select the RCM option while creating the invoice, and the rest is taken care by the software itself. It will automatically mark the invoice as the RCM. Let's get a quick walkthrough of the whole process. All I need to do is just log in into the software, go to sales option and then invoices, click on the create new invoices, add the basic details, select the client and then go onto the configuration option. Select the text type and then on other option I just need to click on is reverse charge applicable and save changes. I need to add the items, quantity and the total will be calculated along with the text details. I just need to scroll it down and click on save and continue. After clicking on save and continue, my invoice is generated in which there is a note specifying that taxes applied are subject to the reverse charge mechanism. I can just download the invoice from here or send it via email or WhatsApp. So in this way, I can create a reverse charge mechanism invoice simply using an AI and automation software. If you also want to try this out, the software link is given in the description. So here's a takeaway. RCM is not a penalty, it is just shift of the responsibility. If you as a business owner knows when to pay the RCM and how to handle it, you can easily claim your ITC back. So that's all from our discussion on reverse charge mechanism under GST. If you have any question, do let us know in the comments. Thank you.